Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into, well, a really eye-opening topic. We're looking at this incredible statistic. A small group of salespeople, right? They consistently earn, get this, over 50 times more than their peers. 50 times. I mean, just let that sink in. And, most of us probably think, how's that even possible? Is it just luck? Raw talent, maybe being in the right place at the right time?
Yeah, that's the immediate reaction, isn't it? But the research actually points somewhere else entirely.
Okay. So our mission today is really to pull back the curtain on these millionaire salespeople. We want to uncover the 3 core habits that drive this extraordinary level of success. And it's not magic, right? It's about specific, actionable things.
Exactly. It's not about luck or some, innate gift. It's about consistent, disciplined habits.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is that these habits, they aren't super complex or secret. They're actually pretty simple, almost timeless. But it's the commitment to them that makes all the difference. So yeah, let's break them down.
Perfect. Let's jump right into the first one. Our sources call it engage deeply. Now, this isn't just, standard networking. It's about building genuinely authentic relationships throughout the organizations they target.
Right. Deeper than just the main contact person.
Exactly. Like the source material gives these great examples. These top folks, they know the receptionist's birthday. They chat with the security guard about football. They remember stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question is, what does this level of engagement, this really deep connection, what does it actually mean for the business relationship, for you trying to build that edge?
Well, that's the key, isn't it? It's not just about being nice, though that helps.
Yeah.
The real power is that it creates what the source calls a broad consensus. Think about it. If you have trust and rapport across the whole company, front desk, purchasing, middle management, executives, you're not just selling anymore.
They're kind of woven into the fabric.
Precisely. So when something comes up, a new project, a problem, they're the ones often pulled in early, maybe even before a formal RFP goes out.
Ah, okay. So they're helping define the need.
And the solution, which naturally positions them as the obvious choice. Sometimes they close deals without even really competing.
Wow. That's huge. They're shaping the deals from the inside out.
And they rarely lose clients because of it. They become that trusted ally, not just another vendor.
Okay, but that sounds like it must take an enormous amount of time. How do they manage that? Build all these connections without, getting completely sidetracked?
It's actually very disciplined. It's not random chats. They often use tools like CRMs, but not just for sales stages. They use them to track those personal details, the birthdays, the kids' colleges you mentioned.
Right, so it's intentional.
Very intentional.
Right.
Setting reminders, making relevant connections, actively listening in every interaction. It's those small, consistent, personal touches that build incredible professional trust.
It makes them indispensable.
Exactly. The go-to partner.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So moving on to the second habit, master your knowledge. And the source immediately says, these top salespeople, they never wing it.
Never.
Which makes sense, but mastering every detail? That sounds pretty intense. Is it just about knowing the product inside and out? What does that really mean?
It's much broader than just the product specs, actually. This raises a good question for you listening. How deeply do you really know your own field, your customers, your competition? For these top performers, the source says it's every detail of their product, market, customer, and competition.
Okay, wow. So market trends, competitor weaknesses.
The economic drivers of their client's business, the specific challenges their industry faces, emerging trends 3-5 years out, it's deep.
It sounds like they're basically operating as consultants, not just salespeople.
In many ways, yes. That's a great way to put it.
So how do they even achieve that? Are they just studying constantly?
Well, continuous learning is definitely part of it. It's non-negotiable. But it's also how they learn. They treat every interaction, every lost deal, every meeting as a chance to gather intelligence. They debrief themselves rigorously.
Like, what did I learn? What objections came up?
Exactly. And how could I answer that better next time? They actively seek out tough questions. They don't shy away from challenges. So when an objection comes up, they don't stumble. They respond clearly, persuasively, with facts and data drawn from that deep knowledge base.
And that confidence must be powerful.
Absolutely. It allows them to handle almost anything, close deals more often, probably at better margins too because the value is so clear. That preparation gives them a massive, unshakable advantage.
Yeah, you can see how that level of expertise builds trust.
Okay, and that leads us nicely into the third and maybe the habit that ties it all together. Discipline above all. The source emphasizes this idea of relentless focus, which sounds great, but in sales, things can get chaotic, right? Lots of distractions. How does that focus actually play out day to day?
Yeah, this is where the rubber really meets the road. It's about unwavering commitment to strategic action, not just being busy, but being productive on the right things.
Hmm.
The source points to a few key things. They make decisions quickly, no endless dithering.
They prioritize their time ruthlessly. And this is crucial. They focus only on high-value prospects and actions.
Yeah, the 80-20 rule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They understand the Pareto principle intuitively and
Yeah.
apply it rigorously.
Yeah.
They're constantly analyzing their pipeline, who are the top 20% of prospects likely to yield 80% of the results.
Not just the easy ones or the ones they like talking to.
No, the ones with the highest potential return, based on budget, need, internal champions, strategic fit. It's data-driven, usually combined with experience.
And then they pour their energy into those.
The vast majority, yes.
Yeah.
They master their calendar. They block out time for prospecting, for research, for that deep engagement we talked about earlier, and they guard that time fiercely. Other things. They answer calls fast. They follow through on commitments immediately, minutes or hours, not days.
Yeah.
They act decisively. No analysis paralysis.
It sounds like incredible self-control.
It is. There was an example in the research, one salesperson who, first hour of every single day, before email, planned one high-value touch point for their top 3 clients. Every day.
Wow,
Why
that's
not?
consistent.
It's that relentless, proactive, strategic discipline. That's how they don't just hit targets. They blow past them year after year. It keeps them at the top.
Yeah, putting it all together, it's so clear. The message from the source really is success is built, not inherited. And it's powerful because, as you said, the research shows many of these top people came from pretty modest beginnings. They weren't born into this.
No, they weren't. They worked their way up. They learned these skills, developed these habits, often through, sheer grit and intentional effort.
It really challenges that idea of the natural burn salesperson.
It really does. And it's fascinating, isn't it? How often we look for some complex, secret formula.
Right, the magic bullet.
Yeah. When the foundation for this kind of outlier success is often these, well, simple, timeless habits. Millionaire salespeople aren't lucky. They're intensely intentional. And these habits, they aren't secret. Anyone could do them. The difference is the discipline to actually do them. Consistently, day in, day out, even when it's hard or unglamorous.
That commitment to the fundamentals.
That's the real separator.
Well, that brings us towards the end of this deep dive. We've unpacked these 3 powerful habits: deep engagement, mastering your knowledge, and discipline above all. So as you're listening, maybe think about which of these you could lean into a bit more, or maybe start developing today in your own work, your own life. What small shift could you make?
Yeah, and maybe one final thought to leave you with. If extraordinary results, not just in sales, but in any field, really do come from these intentional discipline habits compounding over time, what seemingly small, consistent actions could you start building today to achieve your own version of, let's call it, millionaire-level success, whatever that means for you?
Something to reflect on.
Definitely. Because these principles, they really are timeless.